Hello. I am coming on here today to talk about my little dreamscapes that I'm making. I made them for some of the apprentices at the mystery school that I volunteer at, that I graduated from. And so I made these dreamscapes because we talk a lot in the school about gateways. And gateways, for me, the way I'll describe it is they're opportunities to go from everyday, ordinary reality, so you can find them in pictures, you can find them in written words, you can find gateways in watching the ocean, you can find gateways in looking at a tree, you could find a gateway anywhere. So there are opportunities when you sit there and you look at it, or you feel it, or you sense it. Even listening can be a gateway, and it takes you somewhere out of your ordinary reality. So out of the three-dimensional, like, oh yeah, I'm looking at a picture of flowers. You're looking at the picture of flowers, and then you're taken somewhere. You go somewhere. And it's so beautiful when you find a gateway to be able to let yourself like sit with it and just go. So a true story is, years ago when I was a kid, I don't know how old I was, obviously old enough to have this remembrance, but I remember thinking, I was sitting at the kitchen table, and I would stare out the window, which was in front of me, and up to the right, and I would stare at the rays of the sun coming through the window. And I would stare at it, and I would watch the particles moving, dust particles, and I would just stare for like the longest time. And I questioned whether or not, even as a kid, if I had epilepsy or something. I don't know. But anyways, I think those were gateways I was staring at. There was a gateway. It took me somewhere, a different dimension, reality. I don't know. But anyways, so I'm making these gateways, and I'll show it to you quickly. And the gateway, you find your own gateway, but my gateway for me is in the middle. And I go there, and you can go there to access different, whatever you're seeking. Okay, you could set an intention and you go in a gateway. Anyways, if you want to know more, you could always reach out and ask. All right, thank you. Bye.